Hey everyone, welcome back to Smart Robots Review. It's so good to have you here. This is a show that reviews consumer robotics from around the world and other fantastic tech. And this is the EUFY Robovac 11. It may look a little familiar to you because last time we unboxed it, and today we're going to reveal if it's any good. So without any delay, let's get started.
Welcome to Smart Robots Review.
So here it is, the EUFY Robovac 11, a low-profile, high-suction, entry-level vacuum with scratch-resistant metallic finish, standing at only 3.1 inches tall and 13 inches wide, featuring a 3-stage cleaning system with 2 side brushes, a rolling brush, and high suction. It is also equipped with infrared sensors for evading obstacles and drop sensors for avoiding falls. To install the robot, connect power to the charging dock, place the charging dock by the wall away from any obstacles, turn the switch on the vacuum, and place the vacuum on the charging dock. Due to its very slim profile, the robot vacuum had no problems going under furniture, going about its business quietly. And I say quietly because this is one of the quietest robot vacuums out there at only 67 decibels. That is almost 20 decibels less loud than a typical vacuum. That's pretty nice. Alright, so let's take a closer look at its sensors and navigation. Here you're going to watch the vacuum. Here it's almost going to not even bump the leg of the chair. See, they barely even touched it. So it is equipped with infrared sensors and a touch bumper sensor, very typical to other robotic vacuums out there. It also has drop sensors, and we set up this 2-inch high platform. You can see it here. It tries to vacuum and detects the edge and avoids it. Again, very typical and expected at this stage of this technology. So the manufacturer is pretty clear that this robot vacuum is designed for flat floors and very low carpets, but we didn't listen, of course, and we did test on a thicker carpet, and as you can see, it did a pretty good job moving around and vacuuming everything. It handled the transitions very well from flat floors to carpet, but it was working a little harder, and I expect that the battery will last less than the 1.5 hours that it's rated for. Here we are testing the return to home function from the remote. You press the return to home function and the robot will find its cradle, its charging dock automatically, and dock, and will charge. That worked consistently 9 out of 10 times. The one time it didn't work, the robot was located at the other side of another room, and I think 9 out of 10 is pretty good. It is recommended that you empty the dustbin after a job, and you can see it is pretty simple to empty it. Alright, so there are 5 cleaning modes for this robot vacuum, one of which is called spot cleaning. Here you can see it is moving in a spiral pattern to handle dirt at a specific spot. To test the rest of the cleaning modes, we designed a vacuum dome, a box elevated 2 inches and isolated for these tests. So here you see the robot vacuum cleaning a flat, typical kitchen surface. We spread a generous amount of parsley flakes on the floor, and as you can see, it did a pretty good job running on auto mode. Similar test here, a flat carpeted surface with plenty of rice for the vacuum to handle, and again it's running in auto mode. It did a pretty good job as expected. Alright, so with all the good comes the maybe not so good. In this test, we have the cradle inside the vacuum dome, and the robot struggled in auto mode to clean the entire area. As you can see, it is as far away from the cradle as possible, all confused, cleaning over and over and over again, which led us to another observation. The robot never returned automatically back to the cradle. It kept going and going. So after 12 minutes, we decided to end the test and move on to the next mode. So we tried the single room test cleaning mode, and that did not fare so well either. The manufacturer clearly states that this is a mode you should use to intensely clean one single room, and then the robot will stop when the cleaning is complete. Well, we ran this test and the robot kept going and going and going. It did not cover the entire test cleaning surface. But there is one more test to try. And that cleaning mode is the edge cleaning option, which worked very well. It covered the entire surface area, unlike the other tests. So the lesson here is ignore the single room and auto modes and focus on using the edge cleaning mode. Unfortunately, the robot vacuum did not return back to the cradle again, and we had to do it manually. So let's recap. This is a very capable vacuum. It is a very quiet vacuum. It struggles with some of its settings, but overall, for a $219 robot vacuum, I'd say it's doing pretty well so far. And let's not forget, it comes with this neat remote control, which you can use to program a job, or you can select the cleaning modes, or even move it around using the directional buttons. Pretty nifty. And now it's time to do something fun. We're going to take the EUFY Robovac 11 and put it back in the Vacuum with a top-notch robotic vacuum, the Roomba 980, in a little challenge. So we have the two contenders in the ring, Robovac 11 versus Roomba 980, the top-of-the-line model from iRobot. We engaged the Roomba through its app, and they're off. And the EUFY using the remote, and you saw the EUFY jumped at it. Look at that, go after the rice. And the Roomba quietly and precisely going after every grain. But the EUFY is relentless. It's going around, moving around the Roomba, grabbing as much of the rice grains as possible. I think the Roomba is being more methodical. It has its infrared and mapping navigation system. So it's mapping its area, and then it has to deal with the fast-moving EUFY. So let's fast forward a little bit. Here the Roomba is declaring, my job is done. And the EUFY keeps going because of course it never stops until the battery dies. Or until you stop it using the remote. Alright, so who won? And the winner was the EUFY Robovac 11. How about that? This little guy hustled and picked up more rice than the Roomba 980. Who would have thought? Not to take anything away from that amazing robot though, and you guys should really check out the review on that. It is an incredible robotic vacuum. But in this price point, this seems a pretty good value. So we know that it can pick up. We know that it is less loud than a typical vacuum. It comes with a really neat remote, and it does have some faults. Besides that, this seems to be like a pretty good value. But what do you guys think? Please share with us your feedback, your questions. We love to hear from you. Is this something you would consider if you don't own a robotic vacuum? Would this be something you would consider to be your very first one? Are there any other products you would like us to test? Any educational robots? We know we have a lot of good educational robots coming out very soon, so that's going to be pretty exciting. So leave your feedback and comments down below, and make sure to click like if you enjoyed the show and share it with your friends and family. We love the support. And until next time, thank you for watching Smart Robots Review.